Hello, my name is Genesis Moore, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the 8 psychosocial stages of development created by Erik Erikson. And within each of these stages, we will experience a crisis or a series of crises that will either positively or negatively affect our future. If we successfully complete each stage, the next stage will not be nearly as difficult as the last. If we are unsuccessful in completing a stage, this might hinder our success rate later on in the next stages in life. How do we overcome these crises or this crisis during our current stage or in previous stages of development? We use these things called basic virtues. Basic virtues are the characteristics that we use to solve problems, to solve crises. Using these basic virtues or these problem-solving characteristics, we will eventually begin to develop a personality, especially through social and cultural experiences. This can take place inside of our homes, outside of our homes, within the city limits, outside of the state, regardless of where you are or who you are with. If you are interacting with someone or experiencing these things, these places, you will begin to develop a sense of who you are. And at a very young age, we begin to understand why people think the way they do, why people behave the way they do. It's because of what they know or what they think they know. The first stage of psychosocial development is infancy. Infancy ranges from birth to 18 months. During this stage, we are deciding who and what to trust. We're deciding whether the people around us, the environment we're surrounded by, is trustworthy. And at this point, our source of stability and safety is found solely in our caregivers, whether that be our grandparents, legal guardians, family members. Whoever we find our comfort in is who we rely on. And our basic value is going to be hope. The second stage is early childhood. This ranges from 18 months to about 3 years. During this stage, we are trying to gain control of our physical skills and find a sense of independence. We are also beginning to become confident or a little bit naive in our decisions. Depending on if our guardians, our parents, our caregivers are praising or reprimanding certain decisions we make, we will either continue or discontinue to make them. At this point, we will also begin to interact with other children and kind of get a sense of who we are through them. The basic value we use during this stage is pure will. The third stage is preschool. This will range from about 3 to 5 years old. During this stage, we will begin to role play. We have experienced and seen things up to this point, and now we're going to act them out and see what happens when we try it. Will we get the same consequences or will we prevail? Will we do better than our parents? For example, if our parents touch the stove and we see them snatch their hand back, we know that it was hot. But will the same thing happen for us? We will also start to interact with other children and find if our interpersonal skills or if our interacting skills are any good, if they're worth a try. Our main basic value is purpose. The fourth stage is school age. This will range from ages 5 to 12 years old. And during this stage, we will begin to read, problem solve, and write. Our teachers and peers become a major influence because our teachers are giving us the skills necessary to either succeed or fail in life. Our peers, we're watching them as they are learning the same things and looking at ourselves a little differently because they are experiencing those same things in different ways. They will not react or succeed or fail the same ways we do. And we begin to care what other people think. We'll start to act accordingly. So if someone doesn't feel that we're doing something right, we're most likely going to look at ourselves and say, hey, maybe I should do it like them. And our biggest basic value is competency. Age 5 is adolescence. This will range from age 12 to 18. During this stage, we are exploring ourselves. We've experienced a lot up to this point. We've been taught multiple different things. It's not just what we're being taught at home anymore. We've been learning at school. We've been going to church. We've been interacting with other children. And we are deciding what we are going to believe in, what our core values are, and what our goals are going to be for short term, long term, whatever the case may be. And through this, we will begin to develop a personality. This is the main stage where we begin to take the personality that we were forming before and develop it into who we are and who we are going to be as adults. We're going to find our identity, our basic value, our core value, our characteristic to help us solve problems at this point is going to be fidelity. Stage 6 is young adulthood. And at this point, we have experienced multiple different things. We've been taught multiple different things. We've found ourselves. We've got control of our physical abilities, our mental abilities. We've picked up a few skills along the way. And during young adulthood, this ranges from about 18 to 40 years, we are going to start to share who we are with someone else. Because we think we have found ourselves at this point, we have our true identity, or what we feel our true identity is, we are going to begin to form intimate relationships with others. And this will not only continue to help us find who we are or who we want to be, but it will also help others in the same process. We will continue to help ourselves and help others figure out what we're going to do with our life. And our core value at this point, our core characteristic is going to be love. Stage 7, this is our middle adulthood. We are now about 40 to 65 years old. At this point, we have picked up some skills. We've loved and lost. We've created and demolished relationships. And we just need something to tend to. We need something to nurture. We want to take everything that we have gathered along the way and dump it on something or someone. We want to put it to use. We want to know that everything that we've been through has not gone to waste. We will want to invest in something that will live or last longer than we do. And our basic value here is going to be care. Stage 8, last but not least. This is called the maturity stage. This will range from about 65 years until death. During this stage, we are contemplating life. We are looking back and trying to decide if everything we did was worth it, if everything we did was worth the wait, if it was worth the pain, worth the positivity, worth the progression. And we want to know that we did not waste our time. We're getting older, our bodies are breaking down, our kids are getting older, the grandchildren are coming around, and we just want to make sure that we lived life to the fullest. We want to make sure that we were successful in order to provide a successful life or provide the credentials needed for our family to create a successful life for their families. And at this point, our basic value, our core characteristic for problem solving is wisdom. Everything that happened to us before is what made us. It is what made us. People tell you that all the time. Your past is what made you. Your mistakes are what made you. How would you learn if you didn't experience those things? So I hope that you will go out and look back into your past, not to find burden or sorrow, not to feel pain again, or to be passionate about something you once were, but to look back only to find who you are now.